My parents used my identity to open a business account without my knowledge. When the tax department came after me for unpaid taxes and fraud, I was completely blindsided. What they didn't know was that I would eventually turn the tables on them in the most unexpected way. Is there anyone in your life that you wish you could get revenge on? Tell me in the comments who that person is and what they did. I'd really like to know your story. And please don't forget to like and subscribe so I can continue bringing you these stories. Your support helps me keep creating and sharing new content for you. My name is Rachel Miller, and this is the story of how my own parents used my identity to open a business account, and how I made them face the consequences when the tax department came after me. I was 28 years old when everything fell apart. I had been living independently for a few years, working as a graphic designer in a small marketing firm. My relationship with my parents had always been complicated. They were controlling, especially when it came to money. My younger brother, Tyler, was their favorite. He could do no wrong in their eyes, while I was constantly criticized. A few months before everything happened, my father called me one evening. He sounded unusually nice. "Rachel," he said, "your mother and I have been thinking. We want to start a small business, a printing and stationery shop. But to get the business loan and open the account, we need someone with a clean credit history. Yours is the cleanest in the family." I was hesitant. I asked him why they couldn't use their own names. "Your mother has some old credit issues, and my name is already on too many things. It'll be easier if we use yours. Don't worry, it's just on paper. We'll handle everything. You won't have to do anything." I wasn't sure, but they kept pressuring me. My mother even cried on the call and said, "We're your parents, Rachel. Can't you do this one thing for us after everything we've done for you?" Eventually, I gave in. I signed some documents they sent me without reading them properly. I trusted them. They were my parents after all. A few months later, I started receiving letters from the tax department. At first, I thought it was a mistake, but then the letters became more serious. They were demanding payment for unpaid business taxes, penalties, and interest. The amount was huge, over $87,000. I was terrified. I immediately called my father. "Dad, what's going on? The tax department is sending me notices for a business I don't even own." There was a long pause on the other end. "Relax, Rachel," he said. "It's just some paperwork issue. We'll take care of it. Don't overreact." But they didn't take care of it. The notices kept coming. Then one day, I received a letter saying that my bank accounts could be frozen and legal action could be taken against me. That's when I realized how serious the situation was. I went to meet them at their house. When I confronted them, my father became defensive. "We had some cash flow issues. We used the business account for some personal expenses. The tax department is just being difficult. You're making a big deal out of nothing." My mother added, "You're our daughter, Rachel. You should be helping us, not creating problems. Do you want us to go to jail?" I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I hired a lawyer the very next day. When she looked into the documents, she told me something that broke me completely. "Rachel, your parents didn't just use your name for a business account. They opened the business entirely in your name. You are the legal owner on paper. They have been running the business and taking all the profits, but all the tax liability is on you." I felt like the ground had disappeared beneath my feet. My own parents had used my identity, opened a business in my name, taken all the money, and left me to deal with the consequences. That night, I cried for hours. Not just because of the financial trouble, but because of the betrayal. The people who were supposed to protect me had thrown me under the bus without a second thought. I knew I had to do something. I couldn't just sit back and let them destroy my life. So I started gathering evidence. After discovering the truth, I felt completely numb. My own parents had used my identity, opened a business in my name, taken all the profits, and left me to deal with massive tax debt and possible legal action. I couldn't sleep that night. I kept replaying every conversation, every lie they had told me. The next morning, I met my lawyer again. Her name was Miss Laura Bennett. She was sharp, direct, and didn't sugarcoat anything. "Rachel," she said, "this is a serious case of identity theft and fraud. Your parents have committed multiple offenses. We can file a police complaint, and we can also take civil action to remove your name from the business and transfer all liabilities back to them." I was scared. These were my parents, but I was also angry. They had betrayed me in the worst possible way. "I want to fight this," I told her. "I want them to face the consequences." Over the next few weeks, I started gathering evidence with my lawyer's help. I gathered all the documents they had made me sign. I collected bank statements, messages, and call recordings where my father had pressured me into signing. I even got statements from the business employees who confirmed that my parents were the ones running the business and taking all the money. When I finally confronted my parents again, this time at their house, the atmosphere was completely different. My father tried to act calm at first. "Rachel, you're blowing this out of proportion," he said. "We'll fix everything. Just give us some time." But I wasn't the same scared daughter anymore. "No, Dad," I replied firmly. "You're not fixing anything this time. You used my name without my full knowledge. You took all the profits and left me to deal with the tax department. I've already spoken to a lawyer. I'm filing a complaint against both of you." My mother's face turned pale. "Rachel, you can't do this," she said, her voice shaking. "We're your parents. What will people say? This will destroy our reputation." I looked at her coldly. "You should have thought about that before you used my identity and left me to face criminal charges." My father's expression changed. He became angry. "You're really going to send your own parents to jail after everything we've done for you?" I stood up. "You didn't do anything for me, Dad. You used me. And now I'm done protecting you." I walked out of their house that day and never looked back. With my lawyer's help, I filed a formal complaint with the police for identity theft and fraud. I also filed a civil case to remove my name from the business and transfer all tax liabilities back to my parents. The evidence was strong. The messages, the documents I was made to sign without proper explanation, and the witnesses' statements from the employees. The tax department was informed about the fraud. They launched their own investigation into my parents' business activities. Things moved quickly after that. My parents tried everything to stop me. They called me crying, they sent relatives to convince me, and they even threatened me. But I didn't back down. For the first time in my life, I chose myself over keeping the peace. A few months later, the police arrested both my parents. The charges against them included identity theft, tax fraud, and financial misrepresentation. Because the evidence was clear, they were denied bail initially. My brother, Tyler, tried to contact me once. He said our parents were suffering and that I should forgive them for the sake of the family. I told him that I had already forgiven them in my heart, but forgiveness didn't mean I had to protect them from the consequences of their actions. Eventually, my parents accepted a plea deal. They had to pay a heavy fine, return the money they had taken from the business, and my father was sentenced to 2 years in prison. My mother received a suspended sentence and community service. I was finally free. The tax department removed all charges against me after it was proven that I was a victim of identity fraud. I also received compensation for the damage caused to my credit and reputation. One evening, almost a year after everything started, I was sitting in my apartment when I received a letter from my father. It was sent from prison. In the letter, he wrote that he was sorry and that he never thought things would go this far. He said he missed me and hoped I could forgive him one day. I read the letter twice, then folded it and put it away. I didn't reply. Because sometimes an apology comes too late, especially when it only arrives after someone has already lost everything. I had spent years trying to be the good daughter. I had stayed quiet, followed their wishes, and trusted them blindly. In return, they used me and threw me under the bus the moment things got difficult. But I learned something very important through all of this. Your family's love should never come at the cost of your own peace and safety. And sometimes the hardest but most necessary thing you can do is stand up for yourself, even if it means going against the people who raised you. Is there anyone in your life that you wish you could get revenge on? Tell me in the comments who that person is and what they did. I'd really like to know your story. And please don't forget to like and subscribe so I can continue bringing you these stories. Your support helps me keep creating and sharing new content for you.